it's two real principals. That's John Blaylock, and we had a very cordial and productive meeting, and all the general terms are agreed upon. We had one meeting that the staff was to follow up with the actual contract and doing the details, and it's my understanding there were just some minor revisions that staff was asked to look at and review, and it might be well if Dwayne, you were the one actually presented the contract to the other parties. If you could kind of explain what those revisions you're asking for.
Sure, I'd be happy to. In essence, there was in your packet there was one revision that we requested that further defined AVEK's responsibility with regards to maintenance, repairs, and others, which was one of the terms and conditions. So there was a clarifying statement with regards to that. The second item was that, and this came up today in our discussions, was they wanted to make sure that if something out of the ordinary should come up, that we would meet and confirm. We would meet and confirm with regards to that. Not sure what that might be, but just to have a provision there, it gives them a little more comfort if we can't perform, or if the Blair's can't perform, then we can meet and confirm and discuss.
Yes, Mike, have you had a chance to review those request?
Yes, I reviewed it. Basically, you probably noticed what it is it's set up in the form of a lease where the agency would lease a well for at least $3,000 a month. One of the provisions is that he does need some water, and so the first 100 acre-feet of water that's pumped from the well would basically be traded for an equal quantity of water that he'd be able to use elsewhere on his property when he needs to, and that would all be scheduled. I understand that there sounded like there may be another period next summer when he would need to have the same provision, so that would need to be amended into the draft that's currently in the packet. This is, you may recall that with such a small allocation, the board actually went through the process to declare a water shortage emergency and directed staff to come up with options for mitigating the emergency, and this is one of those. So it started out as a water purchase agreement where you'd be buying water. In this case, it just made more sense to instead just simply lease the well rather than buy the water on a bucket basis.
Has the board approved this for President's signature?
The board has not approved this agreement.
Time is pretty much of the essence of it.
Yes.
I would move that we proceed with this agreement as outlined, based upon the approval of our legal counsel, and the president would sign it for that.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agreement as amended, subject to our attorney's review.
Yes, I'll make one additional comment because this may be important in case folks are concerned about it. This is a well that Blaylock used to use to water his trees, the trees that are now taken out. So it's basically the same water, but instead of being used to water trees, it's being used to supply the needs of Richmond.
All right, Madam Secretary, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Charlie O'Loughlin.
Yes.
Keith Dias.
Yes.
Frank Donato.
Yes.
George Lane.
Yes.
Robert Harris.
Yes.
Marlon Barnes.
Yes.
And Neil Eisenberg.
Yes.
Some of these plans going forward. So the 2013 Integrated Regional Water Management Plan is an updated 2007 plan. And we'll go through a little slide presentation to describe a little bit what the plan is, also what the plan isn't, and I think that's fairly important also. First off, what is a regional water management plan? It's a planning document. It's not anything more than that. It's kind of a planning document. The primary objectives are to describing current conditions, what future water needs are looking out into the future, and describe a plan to meet those water needs in 2035. So we're only talking a 20-year, essentially a little over 20-year time planning horizons with regards to those water needs. This is a cooperative effort amongst all of the what they call stakeholders in the region. So this is not an AVEK plan. This is a plan that's designed and developed for the region in general. So it includes most of the water providers and suppliers and users within the valley. The process was to also include flood control and management, open space and natural habitats, agricultural areas, new growth, and a water balance to ensure that new growth and the amount of water is available, and also climate change included. So you try and get all of these people together, and over a year-long process, all of these individuals begin to talk about what they believe is the best way in which to identify what the water needs are, what the amounts are, and how best to be able to do that. And the grant funding itself provides a lot of the stimulus for being part of the program from the beginning, because hopefully at the end of the process we'll be able to grant funding to help your agency further provide water resources for the Antelope Valley. But it's also important to identify what the IRWA is not. It does not require the agency to do anything. So there's no compelling, if you approve this document, it doesn't require you to do anything. You don't have to implement anything. This is all a voluntary measure. It doesn't resign, and it also doesn't assign any agency the responsibility to implement certain portions. So, if the plan says there needs to be 500,000 acre feet of new banking capacity, that doesn't mean that AVEK has the obligation to provide that. It just identifies what potentially the possibilities might be. And it doesn't, and the agency does not have to agree with all the information contained in the plan. In other words, we may disagree with population projections, or we may disagree with the water use factors that they use in developing certain things. That still doesn't prevent you from moving forward with adopting this transition if you feel that the balance of the document is fairly accurate. Just as I mentioned, the state incentivizes the preparation of the plan by providing grant funding. That's Prop 450 and Prop 34 funding, which the agency has received in the past. And the way the state has organized and looked upon these integrated regional water management plans, any future funding will probably be based on the fact that any of those projects that you'd like to seek funding for must be contained within the integrated water management plan. At a very high level, it identifies our local water supplies as groundwater, as we all know, Little Rock Reservoir, and also imported supplies from the State Water Project as primary source of supply. We also have some water efficiencies having to do with conservation, recycled water, other matters that help stretch those supplies and allows us to utilize them to the greatest extent possible. One of the interesting aspects that you can see in the plan is that the population of the region was about 103,000 back in 1970. Current population in 2010 is identified at 390,000, and the population projection for 2035 is 547,000. Markedly different than the 2007 integrated regional water management plan that showed a population of over 1 million for this region. So there's a significant reduction in planned population, and consequently you're going to see a significant reduction in the water as you can see from here, from this graph, it goes, the dotted line on the top goes from the existing supplies and of 185,000 up to 216,000, and that's the 41,200 acre feet of mismatch. The interesting aspect here is you can see that there's a 110,000, which is your recharge and return flows and those things that have been identified. We have imported supplies of 54,700, surface supplies of 4,000 acre feet, and then 82 acre feet is the recycled water. So you can see, and the 6,000 is the amount of documented, at the time, is the amount of documented bank water that could be received.
This doesn't take into effect the possible purchases of the farming property that will go vacant.
That's correct. Doesn't take into effect any of those things. So in
And
essence,
that's a pretty major amount.
oh sure.
That would probably take care of most of it.
Yeah, there is a one of the things to consider is that there is in the 110 acre feet, there's a certain allocation for those farm properties, so they may shift, but we aren't necessarily preparing, additional waters. But I think what you'll see is those will be one of the major sources of water that flows for the supply by just increasing that load and having that water available. So there's going to be a balance of things, and as you increase the recycled water, that will be another source there.
At a reasonable or acceptable cost. And so with that population figure, that's going to vary a lot. If you start paying $2,000 an acre feet for water that's not available. So at what point have we used our reasonable efforts to supply water to residents? So we have enough for the residents now. We have enough, I guess, from farming interest. But I'm not sure that people have ever planned that me and the population, most of those people are right out of college and graduate school, and they're doing their project. They're based upon a few little items. They probably need very little thought to available water.
I can't say specifically, but I can intuitively agree that the feeling that those population increases would increase at the exponential way that they had planned for the next 20 years just was not sustainable based on that.
Was there a 2007 plan that showed a population of about 2035?
Yes.
What were the anticipated shortages of water based
Yeah.
upon that plan?
They were close to 268,000 acre feet of shortages. Yeah, so it's a very significant amount of water. And so
This is a lot more sustainable.
this is something that's well within the realm of being able to be solved and managed. And once again, this is kind of a long-range plan, and as circumstances change over time, we try and update this every 5 years. What we try to do, it usually happens every 7 years, but usually over this 5 to 7 year period, you get this type of reassessment. Water banking to improve our reliability, to ways in which to address water shortages and emergencies, should there be an outage in the canal for any length of time. Also, agricultural transfers, as Director Lane noted, is a key component of the plan, and more efficient water distribution systems to where, as we see today, while we may have water in some areas, we need a more efficient way to distribute that water to other areas, and then water treatment for water quality. Here's a list of the projects that were identified in the plan, and in order to do that, you can see that there's one additional project that's been added on behalf of AVEK. The AVEK plans to include the water supply stabilization project, west side expansion, that's expansion of our existing west side. Eastside Banking Blending Project, and that we're continuing to work on an AVEK strategic plan for how best to develop all of our water banking needs. As I indicated, this is the general manager's report for May 27, 2014. The water supply, our state water allocation remains at 5%, and we are to receive that after September 1st. Oroville is at 61% of this historical average. Very consistent to the previous report. San Luis Reservoir is at 54% of its historical average, and our northern Sierra precipitation is about 61%. And as I indicated, it's going to be a long, hot summer expected. And this is pointed out in the operations report that that big A says above average. This is the 90-day outlook for temperatures. As you can see, most of California is projected to be above average with regards to temperatures. Moving forward, and here's the statewide average precipitation, and the redder it gets, the drier it is. So you can see that there isn't many areas that aren't receiving
So Death Valley's the only place to hold it up.
Yes. Here's the Northern Sierra Precipitation Excavation Index that you've seen many times. As you can see, we've kind of topped out there at 28.8%, and I would anticipate, barring any major storms in the later part of the year, that that's probably very close to where we'll end up. We're above the 96, 97 dry year period, but the one thing that's a little bit deceiving about this report is there's very little snowpack. So we're going into the next year already in this position. Once again, here's Lake Oroville, and the blue line is Lake Oroville where we are today, and the red line is 77, 78. So you can see we're above there, but we'll start taking some water out and get it across the belt. Here's our San Luis levels. Once again, this shows that we're right about where we were in 1977. That black line is associated with last year, so we would anticipate that beginning now significant drop in San Luis. On a water banking point of view, currently we've got 8 wells operation, 2 recovery wells that are line pumping 17 million gallons, and we've got 4 million going to Mojave and 13 million going to AVEK. Hopefully, well, I should say hopefully, but we anticipate that Rosamond will be getting primarily agricultural water in 2 weeks as we make that transition to Creekside supply to AVEK moving forward. On the state water project itself, the staff's still working on the pump-in program for 2014. And as Neil alluded, the drought grant funding was kind of a little bit of smoke and mirrors to a certain extent, because there really was no new funding. It was primarily the old funding, and they were just going to try and speed up their process for approval. However, I find it a little bit ironic that their speeding up process of approval means that you have to put in all your paperwork by July, and you should have an answer by September. And as we all know, by September, pretty much, your hot summer's over, and they really haven't really addressed any of the drought concerns for this particular year. Still somewhat modest over at Rosamond and on the east side. You can see that the Palmdale Water District connection is pumping a little about 6 million gallons a day.
Define the project for us, and then determine is it exempt from CEQA. We do initial study, that's what you add in the packet. It's the CEQA checklist, goes through all the different items. And then we do send this out after we prepare the initial study. We send it to the clearinghouse for comments, we put it in the newspaper. send it to the county for posting. And we give it 30 days for the review process, and then of course, if there is any comments that we address in the time, which like tonight, when we go through the comments that we did get. And then the agency makes their decision, and if we are going to make a notice of determination, then we would post that with the county, and it'd be another 30 days before we would be actually adopted. And that's just a brief overview of what we go through to bring it to the point that we are tonight. Resident construction. So DWR agreed to put a new slot into the aqueduct to replace this at their cost. They're also providing a pipeline up out of the DWR right away. This part of the environmental document addresses is the pump station portion of this project. This is separate in that it's going to be constructed by AVEK at the home ranch's cost, because this will serve their customers. And so maybe go to the next one, just to get an idea of what this needs to go back to. So what this, there we go. So when we say pump station, the slot and the step, the DWR built that portion of it. They just completing their part of it. And then we're putting a pump into it. We're bringing the electrical in it. We're taking the pipe over to the building. It's going to have the meter in it, all the switch gear to run the pump. So that's this project that's being addressed in this environmental document. I know there was some discussion at the finance committee about the pipe that the connecting tube was like 30 feet off. They came back to us this last Friday and said, oh, we're only a couple feet off. We're going to adjust some things so that we don't have to resubmit our drawings, or our drawings are good. So at least we don't have to go through that process anymore. So anyway, that's the layout. It's the pump station, electrical, and meter portion of the project. So we did, during our review period, got comments from two entities, DWR and then the Department of Fish and Wildlife. So based on those comments, we do have some mitigation measures that we have to take care of. Of course, we've got erosion, sediment, DNPs, but unusual on that. Biological, we got some things that we have to do some more surveys. Gaines, Fish and Game was asking us to do what's the fern, owls, nesting raptors, small mammal trappings, a few minor things that we have to take care of to make sure that we cover all the comments that we got. This is a very small area, so it's probably less than a half acre, but when they do their analysis, they look at a larger area and say, what can fly in and what can move into that half acre parcel in the street. No cultural resource issues because we're on the DWR right away. This was all part of the original act of construction, so nothing on that.